Hey, Bob and Mandy here, and welcome to List Play. Today, we have an R list for you, which means that we've made a list together telling you the best of something.
And today, our list is going to be about food and drinks that we loved, but that are no longer available. A lot of them are no longer being produced. One or two of them are still being produced, but they're basically unfindable. They're not in grocery stores. They're gone.
Can't get it.
Forever. Gone forever. And I think everyone has foods like this. I mean, especially as you get to our age and older. We're not that old, but we've lived long enough to, have favorite foods and stuff that were from our childhood. Because I think we're no longer kids. I might still be a kid. I don't know.
Depends on your definition.
It's hard to say. But I think everyone who's lived for more than a couple of years has had a favorite thing that suddenly has gone out of existence. Excuse me.
For no reason. Because everyone loved it.
Yeah, because it was amazing. And they still just stopped producing it. So who knows?
But today, just to give a shout out, our topic was suggested by Lisa on Twitter, who's Broken Angel 1208. So give her a shout out if you like the topic, and keep pouring the topics in so we can mention you next time.
Definitely. We got that one from Twitter. Thank you so much for the idea. And if you want your idea to be one of our lists, hit us up at Let's Play Live, at MySkerm, at Flipper12012. It's all, Moobot says all those things, so check it out on Twitter. You might be the next list. But that brings us to number 10 on our list of things. Number 10, this one is close to my heart, because I love cereal, first of all, and I love cookies, second of all. I mean, those aren't my top two things,
Who doesn't like those things
but
together?
Number 10 on our list is Oreos. Number 10 on the list of foods that we loved, and I think everybody loved, but no longer exist. Oreos.
So I was never allowed to have these because they're basically just cookies in cereal form, right? I mean, they just taste like Oreos.
They're like the ingredients of Oreos in a different shape. Yeah. But yeah, we were never allowed to have these either. We were only basically allowed like Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios. But on several occasions, my dad was like, "Man, I really want Oreos." All right, we're gonna get Oreos just this once, and that happened like a few times, and those were the only times I ever had them.
Yeah.
But they're amazing.
You didn't secretly get them at friends' houses or anything?
Actually, no. None of my friends had stuff like that. I had really health-conscious friends, I guess. I don't know. But Oreos, man, why would they stop making those?
Yeah, I know.
Who's not buying Oreos?
Okay, so like Cookie Crisp, still going. Still cookies in cereal.
Still the best scam ever.
Not. Why did they get gone? Don't know.
They must have ran out of...
Maybe they need double stuff Oreos.
Double stuff Oreo-Os. Oh my gosh. It could be Oreo-Os with just chunks of cream in it. And they like slowly dissolve into the milk.
Or it could be like Lucky Charms where there are creams instead of marshmallows.
If you're watching, cereal manufacturers, I think everyone's on board with this.
We have the best ideas. So
bring
it back.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you could stop producing Oreos. It's frustrating. It's saddening. What can you do?
Okay, let's move on.
Okay,
we're going to move on. There's going to be many things we'll be upset about today. So, number 9 on our list is string things. Now, this is a very awkward name, potentially. Mostly we found that out because we were searching for the picture and very disturbing things showed up. Do not search for that.
Yeah, Googling just string things is pretty vague. You have to make sure you say string things, fruit snacks, or just snack or food.
Okay, so these were the best. They're sort of like fruit roll-ups, except they just are like sort of strings. And are they shapes too?
Yeah, it would come on a sheet of like wax paper, and it was like drawings, but then you eat it.
Well, and so you could like peel them out and like play with it. And
yeah, I would always like wrap them around my finger and then like eat my own finger and you know, whatever kids do.
Really fun things, okay? So why'd they have to come and take that away from us? again, with all the other gummy snacks survived. Was that one like a different brand or something?
It seemed like it's made by the same guys who made Fruit Roll-Ups, but I have no idea.
So they killed that one.
So yeah, I mean, apparently Fruit Roll-Ups murdered String Things, but maybe it was the name. Maybe they ran into trouble. The internet was invented, and they were like, "Oh my God, our thing is named String Things." Guys, have you seen what this Google puts up? Maybe that was it. The internet killed String Things. Who knows?
No.
But it's sad.
Let's not.
And that brings us on to our next one, which I'm excited to talk about. I think Mandy's more excited than I am to talk about.
I was reading the list backwards. I was like, why would I want to talk about
the number 8 thing on our list?
This one is very close to my heart, and you guys are going to have to just go with it for a minute. Okay. So, there's a question mark here, because we could not, in fact, find a picture of my memory.
There's no proof anywhere.
Shut up. It happened. Okay, so, for a while, when I was growing up, Arby's used to have pasta. Not like pasta salad, not like anything, like pasta. Like I would get kids' meals with just a little thing of pasta. Now, I have talked to my mother to verify this memory and make sure that it is not
seems legit. She asked her mom, and Mom was like, yeah, definitely.
No. So she remembered, and she remembered that me and my younger brother, Eric, who's in chat, both loved them, and she remembered that it was good too. So it was like curly pasta, sort of like you get at Cece's with red sauce.
Cavatappi pasta.
I don't know, Italian? But, so they did it. My mom says that they did not do it everywhere, that it was sort of a trial thing, and so most people don't know about it. But it was so delicious, and they did it for like, I feel like a couple years, because this became a big memory to me, that this was really delicious pasta that we would get from the drive-thru thing. And I wanted to go. I can't even believe it didn't go everywhere, let alone come back.
And I'm not a Google master or anything. I don't know all of the advanced search techniques, but I searched thoroughly for any evidence of this. The only evidence I could find that even suggested this was true was there was a website that had nutritional facts for pasta sauce from Arby's and pasta from Arby's. But I don't know if it was company that produced pasta called Arby's that was not the fast food chain. I don't know.
No, it happened for everyone, and it was awesome. So let's all tell Arby's to bring it back. It was in the 90s, but we can bring it back. It's not too late.
That wouldn't be an awkward conversation. Hey Arby's, you remember back in like 1995 when you had that pasta in like 6 restaurants in Southern Ohio? You should do that nationwide.
That's true. It might have only been in Southern Ohio. I have no idea how widespread this test was.
You just happen to have
or if it was like the individual franchises. I don't know. But
you just happen to have...
It's delicious, and it deserves to be noted.
Now, one rogue Arby's was all about the pasta sauce.
That was our number 8. Yeah.
Which brings us to number 7. And there are versions of this one that still exist, but this item itself is no longer gettable at the grocery store. Squeeze-Its. I, again, was not cool enough, or at least my parents weren't cool enough as a kid, to get us Squeeze-Its. So we didn't have Squeeze-Its or like Capri Suns in our house, if I remember. We didn't do that sort of stuff. So I had to live off, this one I did have to live vicariously through my friends. I had to go over to their houses to get Squeeze-Its and stuff. And I remember that. I remember the kids who had Squeeze-Its. I remember them. But yeah, these are not available. I think there are similar sort of things that are like...
Well, like Capri Sun still exist and stuff.
You know, but Squeeze-Its, man.
They were awesome. Like, the hardest part... Like, I have many memories of trying to get off the top. Now, if you guys don't remember, so the whole thing was just a mold of plastic, and the top was a mold of plastic molded onto the rest of the plastic. It was just weaker plastic that you had to try and break.
You twisted it off, and it came off pretty good for me.
I, had to go around, 5 times.
Did you ever have one where you twisted it, and then you pulled, and it, undid the seam, and it, peed all over you?
But they were still delicious. Maybe it was the design flaw that got them household, but
Too many parents wrote in about having to clean juice stains off their kids' clothes. I hope that wasn't it. That's a lame
no,
reason.
it can't be the reason, because Capri Suns still exist and you can just poke them in half.
Yeah. I don't know how you get a straw into a Capri Sun without blasting yourself in the face with juice. Like, I just go like this and aim it away.
You do it slowly.
It's physically impossible.
If you do it hard, then it shoots up, but if you do it easy...
I don't know. I've always had trouble. But that brings us to number 6 on our list. Let me pull up the slideshow. These are classic movie theater candy for me. It's where I experienced these.
And the commercials are some of the most memorable part
Yeah,
for
they
me.
do have some really iconic commercials. Butterfinger BBs. Stunningly similar to actual Butterfingers, but just the fact that these are little balls of that Butterfingery stuff, whatever exactly it is, was exciting. And I used to get the movies in the box, and you could shake the box to make sure that wasn't all melted and stuck together. And they were just like, I would always get these or Bunch of Crunch at the movies. They were the best.
So I never had these, but the part that's surprising to me is nowadays everything has moved from being regular candy bars to being bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
So like you in the store, there's like the Reese's Drops and the Hershey's Drops and all these like individual sized things, but they never brought back the Butterfinger. Like it was like the original one, sort of, as much as I can remember.
I mean, it was basically sort of like if the Butterfinger was just in the shape of a malted milk ball. It was the same flavor.
And they were
everything.
delicious. I mean, what's not to love? Maybe it's just a different packaging, but there's plenty of those. They could keep it up.
Yeah, man, who doesn't need more shelf space?
And the commercials, famously, Bart Simpson.
And that was in the era where Bart endorsed all of Butterfinger's stuff, because he did the candy bar too. But the Butterfinger BB commercials...
I remember the BB ones more.
Yeah. The Butterfinger BB commercials, I think, were cooler. I remember he was doing stuff and he was always protecting them from Lisa or
Well, I remember
Homer.
some like gun things too, like shooting BB guns or something. I might have made that one up.
Who knows?
Don't.
I'm sure the
Get me
internet
on
knows,
that.
actually. Don't answer me with who knows. I'm sure you know. Don't tell us. It's okay.
I'm just making stuff up. It's been a while.
But Butterfinger BBs, what the heck is wrong with those? They're fantastic. Which brings us... I forgot which number we're on. So number 5 on our list of the top foods that are amazing but no longer available
Is Dunkaroos. Now, Bob informed me after much internet research that Dunkaroos do exist in some form now.
They are still produced technically.
But you cannot get them in the grocery store, which is where you need them. So, Dunkaroos, for you guys who don't remember, they're sort of just like a two pouch, where one side is they're like graham crackers, sort of, and then the other side is just a vat of icing, which is awesome because parents just thought that this was a snack.
It's like if they just bought you one of those cans of icing and were like, have a snack.
Oh, Chad is saying that they have Dunkaroos in Canada. I am so jealous now. We don't have them around here.
We do not have Dunkaroos.
Okay, at least around here, we're counting it because we don't have them in our grocery stores.
And if you look online, you will see that everyone is like, I used to get Dunkaroos all the time, and now they're gone. They've disappeared, except for Canada, apparently. Which happens. I did see a lot of, I'm not sure if it's still true, for the Oreo O's that we talked about earlier, those are like still available in some Asian regions or something.
Awesome.
Or they just had a lot left over.
Let us know if any of these things are available
if you
where
guys
you
have
are.
hookups for any of these foods.
We'd
Our
like
P.O.
to know.
box is box 327 on, I forget the address, but yeah. No, I don't know. What's wrong? I mean, maybe parents figured out that a bucket of icing is not a good snack for a kid.
Well, the best part was
why
it
they
was
died?
not really a proportional amount of icing to the amount of graham crackers that you had.
There was always extra icing.
Yeah, it was just, that's why I described it as a giant vat. It was like, you could just keep going forever and you had to like space out your graham crackers to your icing supply. It's very important.
Nutritional value, what? Which brings us right along to one that I'm very excited about. Number 4 on our list of foods that are dead but should not be dead, and we wish it would not be dead.
Delicious.
McSalad shakers. I almost said it wrong. These were the bomb. I remember these came out when I was maybe in like 5th or 6th grade or something like that.
Let's be real. These are still salads.
Well, but they're like the coolest.
Put it in perspective.
They're like the coolest salads that have ever existed. I remember when these came out. I was a pretty young kid, not a big fan of vegetables. You know, stereotypical kid. I like to eat whatever, candy, cake, whatever. But these made salad so cool. I actually asked my dad to get me these when we would go out, because we didn't really get fast food that much when I was a kid either. Yeah. My dad always cooked dinner at home and tried to make us be healthy. I didn't ever go along very easily with that, but they tried. And so we didn't get like McDonald's every night or anything. But when we did get McDonald's, I always asked for these because they were awesome. You would have whatever toppings you wanted. You put the dressing in and you shake it, and you got to make sure it's evenly distributed. I remember like carefully inspecting the clear plastic cup to make sure it was good. And then it was just fun, man. If I could eat a salad like that every day, like I'm considering right now as I'm talking about it, getting one of those like big plastic things and eating my salads mixed salad shaker style.
You know what the problem with that is though? What kind of dressing did you put on it?
Oh, like 5 gallons of ranch? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But isn't some lettuce and carrots mixed in with my bacon and ranch healthier than just bacon and ranch on a cheeseburger?
Well, yeah, if you compare it like that, but you wouldn't be eating that much ranch if you weren't eating it on that.
I still thought it felt healthier.
Okay.
And it would make me feel better now if I ate a salad, even if it had a little bit of bacon and stuff on it. Whatever. It was cool. It made salads fun. That's hard to accomplish.
Yes, chat. It is just a salad in a cup. That is what Bob is talking about.
I liked it. And I'm going to not look at chat very closely and assume that chat liked it as well.
Chat is on his side. Probably.
Chat's probably on my side. Which brings us to a much discussed one.
Yes. Number 3. So, Trix. Now, Trix itself is not gone. They still make it, but they do not make it like they used to. They used to make it with all the little shapes, as you could see in the start. Now they just make it stupid balls. It's just balls of color. It's not Trix. The Trix are the little things. And they should bring it back. Now, there is a conspiracy theory going around
that I think is true.
That Bob thinks is true. Is that Trix are for kids, and we are no longer kids, and therefore we are unable to see the shapes that still exist for kids.
If there are any kids in the audience, get some Trix. Let us know in chat. Can you see, are they shapes or are they just little balls?
Yeah, kids,
I'm pretty sure that I have changed and Trix has not changed, because why would you change Trix? That's dumb.
Yeah.
Trix was perfect the way it was.
Why mess with it? Why mess with it? It's delicious.
Apparently, it's been since 2006 that Trix has been so lazily produced.
It's true.
I don't get easily outraged, but cereal makes me outraged? Maybe that's not a good thing.
You can tell by the list that cereal makes Bob outraged.
Yeah. What was wrong with Oreos? And sorry, I'm hung up on Oreos.
Yeah, we've moved on.
What was wrong with Trix shapes?
No,
both of those.
So the Trix shapes were, I feel like, what made it fun. It's sort of like Lucky Charms if you made it all just balls. Like, it wouldn't be the same, right?
Yeah, what's the point of that?
How can we just think that it's same, that they're cutting quarters on their manufacturing defects?
Wouldn't that just be marshmallow cereal if Lucky Charms didn't have any shapes?
Yes.
What would be the point of that?
Exactly.
The shapes are the best part.
What's the point of Trix without the shapes?
It's a mystery.
It made it so fun.
It's a mystery. But that brings us...
Look at all those fun shapes.
Look how much more fun that looks. Imagine if it was just balls on the front of that.
It's no fun like that.
It's so boring. But that brings us on to number 2. Speaking of balls, number 2...
That's true. It is more balls.
It is. Number 2 is classic. It might be... I think this one died off a little earlier. So if you're younger, you might have never even got to experience this. But number 2 is the Nestle Wonderball.
I didn't even know that this wasn't being made anymore.
You just didn't... You're an adult now, so you never have a chance to eat them, but you're
unaware I don't just go to the store and buy them anymore, so I sort of just thought they were there.
Yeah, no, and if you don't know what these are, it's not necessarily apparent from the picture. It's a chocolate sphere filled with like little hard candies.
Delicious and fun surprises.
And wrapped in foil. And so you get it. It comes in a box, and you get it, and you get to destroy the chocolate sphere and consume it. And then there's candy inside. And the ones I always got were like Nickelodeon themed. So they had like SpongeBob or
like Disney themed too. They had like different movies, and it was so fun.
But they were so cool. And honestly, they're kind of a scam. Because if you think about what it really is, it's a tiny amount of chocolate.
Yeah.
And a little bit of cheap hard candy. But in that configuration, I went crazy for it as a kid.
The hardest part was to make the shape with it filled. So, like, I mean, because you can imagine...
I mean, it was just two halves, then they put one in one half, and then they melted the halves together.
Yeah, I guess.
You could tell from the way it looked on the outside.
I
was a pretty bright kid. Okay? I was a pretty bright kid. But I mean...
Are you insinuating that I wasn't?
Not on purpose.
That's what you were insinuating. Yeah. I'm the one who wrote pie on the board.
I read it.
I wrote it.
It doesn't count if I read it. Anyway, my point is that it was cool. It's simple. And I mean, I'm sure it's difficult to manufacture.
Chad is saying that there was also a Pokemon version, which was awesome as well. Because then you were like the Pokeball. Awesome. So topical.
That's perfect. I don't know if I ever had a Pokemon one. That rings a bell. But I mean, it was, who takes away candy from kids? Who takes away kids from candy?
People in chat are saying the reason is because they also had toys and stickers in them. So people were choking.
People were choking. Well, that makes a little sense.
Well, maybe they should just put candy in it and bring it back. That's what we think.
Problem solved.
Yeah, why didn't their marketing think of this before they shut it down?
They gave up too easy. That's your problem.
Yep.
But that brings us...
to number 1. And this episode has flown by, but we're
yes.
already at number 1 of the best discontinued food.
And number 1 is Doritos 3 Dimensions. Now,
does anyone call it that?
No,
I think it's just 3D.
That's what 3D means. But yeah, no, it's just Doritos 3D. And yes, before everyone jumps in, I'm sure there will be some skeptics who will say, well, it's just Doritos.
That's what I asked. I wanted to make sure he had an argument for why it was superior to regular Doritos.
It's just Doritos, and I don't even know if it is superior to regular Doritos. We talked about this earlier, and I really thought about it. I don't know if it is superior. It's just more exciting. Doritos bag, when you get the little snack bags, it's all flat and sad, and there's a bunch of chips in there, and they're tasty.
And sometimes they're crunched up.
And sometimes they get crushed. Doritos 3D, as I remember them, I know they came in bags too, but I used to get the little plastic cups, and they would come with a cup, and you could take the lid off and pour some into the cup, and then you had your own little serving bowl. And they were the same flavors and everything, but they were just so much more interesting. They came in a cup instead of a bag. They were 3-dimensional. You could bite one end off, and then you had like a hollow triangular. It was like a finger hat, or it was like boots for your. It was whatever you wanted it to be. It was just exciting. And why would you stop making them? I mean,
the same problem with the Twix. Tricks.
The Tricks.
Then it's pure laziness because they were probably pretty intensive to make, I guess, to make the shapes versus just all chips.
I mean, but it was all done by machine, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but it's still cheaper to just have the one kind of machine, I'm sure.
I suppose. I mean, I guarantee that's why the decision was made, that they weren't making enough money on the Doritos 3D. Probably. But they were so cool.
Worth it.
They were just more interesting because there's no other snack that's quite like that. I will say that Takis, I think they're Spanish or not Spanish, Mexican brand of chips, they're like tubes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Those are interesting because they're not just a flat chip, but they're still corn chips. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of dimensionality to a chip. Mix it up. I don't know.
Make it fun.
I think that Doritos 3D was fun and exciting.
And that's why it's number 1 on our list. Now let us know which of these you still have, if any, or if you missed these two, let us know in the comments.
Yep, and just to wrap it up, as we mentioned last week, and as is still the case, there is now List Play merchandise with the logo, or a version of the logo, that you see at the beginning and the end of the episode. There are currently shirts available. There's a link below us in the description to, it's actually the MySkirm swag shop, but it is now MySkirm/ListPlay swag shop. There are 2 t-shirts available, different designs. There are going to be phone cases, tote bags, coffee mugs, whatever. There's going to be other stuff in the future.
If you have a request, tweet it at us and we'll make it.
If you want anything, if you would prefer a certain product or a certain phone case, let me know and it'll be there. I will get you on Twitter. But that's going to be it for this week. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll list you later.